Microphone check. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. It's yours truly. Truly yours. Carlo Banga. Back at it again with another episode of Making Noise in the Kitchen. Yeah, we doing something real special today, y'all. We gonna make some pho. First thing you gotta do to make sure that your broth is clear, you know what I mean, and looking beautiful, you gotta take all your meats, your shanks and all your bones and boil them down to get all them impurities out. Alright? Let that go on. Right now we gonna take care of the seasonings to make this thing taste fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? So right now we got what we got? We got cinnamon sticks, black cardamom, fennel seeds, star anise. That's all up in there. We gonna roast that thing to get the essence of it out of there. We want all this flavor to punctuate this pho, because that's what's going is. I'm telling you, after this you ain't going to no more Vietnamese restaurants, man. Toast that thing up. Get it all crisp, and you gonna smell it. You gonna smell the toastiness. This is where the beauty starts. You know what I'm saying, at the crib. So this is where, oh man, this is a vital key. Don't just take them out of the bag. You know what I mean? Or like what I had there was a bag that was already made with all the fuzz stuff in it, and then you gonna put it in your cheesecloth. But you could just get separately and do it anyhow. So right here, you just don't skip this step. You're gonna heat this up and then throw it in the sachet. You know what I mean? Because this is what's gonna give it that funk. So you see right here, I got my sachet perfectly going. You know what I'm saying? Open that little bag up and throw that stuff in there, because that's what's gonna sit in the soup, sit in the pot, and make all that pho flavor. You know what I mean? So just go ahead and put that in there neatly. Turn that heat back on, and this is where we gonna put our ginger on an open flame. I want to get that nice and you know what I mean. Don't be scared of the burntness. You know what I mean. That this is gonna give it the robust flavor right here and the little ting that you need in there. But throw that on an open flame. This is now, look. This is how like they do it in Vietnam. This is real deal Holyfield stuff right here. You know what I mean. This is close to authentic as you could get. You know what I mean. So make sure you roast it on an open flame. Roast them beauties up. Ginger is wonderful, tastes delicious, and is good for you. A lot of beneficial factors in this ginger that will help your life. Go ahead and look it up, man. But you should probably start your day or have a couple days in your week with some ginger in your life. It make you feel a lot better. Now look, I go and put that ginger in my sachet right there. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be the last effect to it. You know what I'm saying? The last thing to put into the bag. So I'm gonna tie that thing up nicely. You know what I'm saying? Alright, we're gonna turn that heat back up one more time. And now we gonna toast down our onion. You know what I'm saying? Now this right here, this is another flavor. Now we ain't gonna cut this up or put this in the bag. We're gonna toast it up nice on the outside, get the insides moving around a little bit in that onion. It's gonna bring out that good flavor. And we're gonna throw this in the pot along with the other ingredients to make this pho. Make sure you get a nice little even char around all sides. It don't gotta be burnt all the way up. It don't gotta be the whole thing. We just want to wake the onion up. You know what I mean? We pulling some of the good flavor out of there. You know what I mean? It's just like sauteing meat. You know what I mean? Before you make something. You know what I mean? That char effect is another level of flavor that's popping off in this thing. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make this as close to authentic as I can. You know what I mean? Because like if I was on death row and they said, what's one of the what you want to eat? I'm be like, you better get me a fucking bowl. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing. Alright, right here. Alright, we emptied out the pot, got all the impurities out. Now we want to rinse these bones off. You're not taking away flavor. You just want to get all the impurities out and make this broth clear. Alright? First thing you want to do once that's done, throw that sachet that you made up in the water. You know what I mean? This is let it start its marinade of that water. You know what I mean? Throw that onion that we put on the flame. This is the start right here. This is the start of that broth that needs to be beautiful. Remember, one of the first rules when you go to a pho restaurant is before you put any sriracha or whatever, you got to taste that broth first. And if it ain't on point, you ain't going back there. So we got to make this on point. All right? Now I got some shanks over here, some beef shanks, some beef neck bones like that I just cleaned up, throwing them up in there. So I'll put all them bones. I don't care. There's meat on those bones. That's fine because, you know what I mean? I don't mind a little bit of chunks of meat in there, and I don't mind a little bit of fat. That's all right because this is what makes this thing taste so good. You know what I mean? So I'm veering off a little bit on the actual whole recipe because I couldn't find certain things. You know what I'm saying? So I use some shanks in here just to add a little bit more flavor. And then on top of that, I'm over here putting, that usually they want a brisket. I couldn't find a brisket. I put a tri-tip in there, and it still worked the same way. You gotta improvise if you have to, but still keep it along them lines. You know what I mean? So now with all that in there, now all it has to do is bubble and handle its business. All right, now I want to cover this up. You know what I mean? And let it come to, because it's a big pot. I was feeding a bunch of people on this one, so it's a big pot of pho. So I cover it up. You know what I mean? Now look at it. Look at it getting to its Berlin nation. You know what I mean? If you see some impurities in there that was left over because you didn't rinse off the meat enough, you can skim that off. But I see a little bit of impurities and I ain't mad at it. I'm like, that's totally fine. That's just a little bit of fat. That's all. I'm good with it. You know what I mean? So keep moving this thing. Keep an eye on it. It's great because you keep an eye on it, but then you could just walk away from it. Very easy to do. You know what I mean? Now this is where I want to throw that tri-tip in there. I don't want to keep this tri-tip in there all day long with the cook because I'm letting this boil for a couple hours. I want it just in there until it's tender enough so I could cut down and have nice little sections and it'll look like a brisket. It's pretty much around the same lines of it. You know what I'm saying? So throw that in there. I threw it in there for about an hour and a half at most. There was still a little bit of pink inside, you know what I mean? So that's fine because you're gonna take that out while this is cooking, and then you're gonna cut it down and place it when you build your bowl. So when you place that broth on it at the end of the day, it's gonna end up finished cooking right there. You know what I mean? Go ahead and add the rest of your meats. You know what I mean? That's a tri-tip. That's some tendon that I just put in there after that. You know what I mean? And the tendon, that's just to add the more flavor and bring it close to the pho that I want to taste. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat the tendon. You know what I mean? It's a little weird to me, but it's not bad. But it's like, I don't want meat gummy bears. I don't like them things like that. So, but that's all right. You know what I mean? But I still put it in there because I wanted all the flavor that I was looking for. So fish sauce is a component that goes in the process of cooking. I like to throw a little bit of fish sauce at the end as well. A lot of people can't handle the smell of fish sauce. It is a little hardcore, you know what I mean? So but don't go crazy on the fish sauce in this step as well because you don't want that flavor going that weird direction. No. This is where you can add your sugar. You know what I mean? Because there's got now the issue with this, authentic wise, in Vietnam they put the rock sugar. It looked like brown, like rocks of heroin, but they put the rock sugar in there, and that melts down there. I didn't have any of that. I couldn't find any, so I used regular sugar and of course salt. Balance it out. I don't want to use too much sugar because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, whatever. Let me just I'll put a little bit of sugar, but then salt go there. I'd rather it hearty than fucked up. All right, so here I took that tri-tip out. It's about an hour and 10 minutes, and you see a little gray or whatever. Don't let that throw you off. This is how this thing's supposed to be. So right here, it's just it left whole. I'm gonna let it relax and let the cooking process for the pho finish, and we gonna throw that in there. You know what I mean? So now we're gonna start building our bowl. You know what I mean? So over here I got some green onions that I got to the side. Now with this tri-tip, I can chop this down. You know what I mean? I could cut it down into sections. Excuse the angling because you can't really see, too clear or whatnot. But bottom line is, this was on the podcast. If you check out the last episode, the pho episode, this is where we bold everything up. So pardon me, I'm just showing y'all the process, how it goes right here, and then y'all can check the podcast. You're gonna see it right back over there. Anyway, so check it out. Yeah, green onions. Of course, you can't have no pho without green onions. So make sure them things is in there. You know what I mean? This is where we're gonna start cutting down our little veggies to build our bowl. Alright, I want to cut these green onions down, take the little root off of them, and then we're gonna use this to top on our bowl. And right now I'm gonna throw some in the broth so at least it gets a little bit of that green onion flavoring. Now usually if I go to Viet House, I'll take that white they serve the white stem part, and it's like this long, and I think it's called hanjang from what I heard. Maybe right, maybe wrong, but I think I'm pretty right. My homeboy said that's how you say it. I'm pretty good. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? You put that with the fish oil and eat it with the soup as a side. It's almost like popcorn. It's amazing. But right here, I need to find out how exactly they do that, because I think it's fish oil, but I will see. Anyway, back to this. Cut it down. We're gonna put the green section, the little leafage, in our soup to dismiss a little bit of that green onion flavor and finish our profile of pho that we looking for. You know what I mean? All right. So for garnish, a lot of people like the jalapeno on there. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna put it in here. Put it to the side. Might garnish with it, might not, you know what I'm saying? Just for the option there, you know what I mean? And now we want to just start slicing thin our white onion. This white onion also is something in certain pho houses that will be floating in the water. So I'll put a little bit in our broth, excuse me. And then, of course, we put a little bit on top at the end when we build our bowl, because you like the little crunch. All right, right here we want to slice this tri-tip down. I do them about little less than an inch, maybe an inch of a cut, you know what I mean? Because this is what we're gonna put down on the bowl. This is taking the place of the brisket, you know what I mean? And if you ask me, it was same thing, you know what I mean? Same thing. Cut this meat down, and this is exactly how it looks. You see, I got a little bit of pinkness in there. That's all right. Like I said, when you pour that broth on there, it's gonna finish the cook. All right, here's our veggies that we, this is what everybody puts in there. You got your bean sprouts, you got your culantro, you know what I mean? Some Thai basil, some limes. I didn't have any mint on this one. I totally forgot about it. You put a little bit of mint in all this. Yeah, I forgot, but it's okay. Still held up very good. You know what I mean? So now we grab everything, put it together. We're gonna start building the actual bowl. All right, so right here we got our rice noodles. They come in like vacuum seal bags, and they're a little stiff. It don't take a long process to cook these, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna I'm gonna show you right here how easy it is. You just bring your water up to a boil, then turn it off, drop your noodles in there, spin them around for a couple seconds, and that's it. They're good. That's all it takes. It's not a process of cooking noodles down and doing all this. You're just throwing them in like really hot water, and that's it. You steam up, you know what I mean? Look, the noodles are now at perfect form. This is gonna be the base of our bowl. All right, put it straight in there. That's what goes on the bottom. All right, put your green onions, start leveling out. Now on with the tri-tip. Put a couple pieces in there. It's gonna finish cooking up in this beautiful broth that we got here. Look at that. Nice aroma, exactly where we want it to be. Fill that bowl up right now. Let it get steamy. Let it get real. But look at that. Beautiful clear broth. You know what I mean? Little bit of impurity just from the oil, from the fat. That's it. But I love a good bowl of fun. That oil is floating around. I ain't got no problem with it. Now we start the accoutrements, as they say. You know what I mean? Put a little bit of your bean sprout. Yeah, I always love that. Don't put too much, you know what I'm saying? Making sure it's at room temperature too, not cold, because then it'll lower the heat, lower the temperature of the soup. Right here, cut up that culantro. You know what I mean? Beautiful. Culantro is one of the best. Yeah, some of that Thai basil. Man, Thai basil just adds that funk to it too. Oof. Yes, you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it is, the best bowl of pho you ever seen. Put your sriracha and all that. The ladies at Hello Honey would be proud. Holla at me. Carlo Banga making noise in the kitchen. Oh my God, this pho is unbelievable.